Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, so today we're diving into a classic Chinese tale that's full of magic and mayhem,
Definitely.
and some pretty profound lessons about ambition and temptation and karma as well.
Yeah, it's a great story to explore those themes for sure.
So we're going to be looking at excerpts from the story,
Okay.
and the star of the show today is a character you might not expect:
Right.
the gold-nosed, white-haired mouse spirit.
Quite a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. But she's quite a character, and
Definitely.
her story really highlights how even the smallest of creatures can challenge the established order
Absolutely.
and kind of make us rethink our assumptions about good and evil.
Right.
So let's start with the basics.
Sure.
Who is this mouse spirit, and what makes her so unique?
Well, as her name suggests,
Right.
she's a mouse with a gold nose and white hair.
Pretty distinctive look.
Yeah, not your average house mouse.
Definitely not.
But her origins are actually quite humble.
Oh, really?
She started out as a simple mouse living at the base of a sacred mountain,
Okay.
a mountain where offerings were made to Buddha.
So like a holy place.
Exactly, a place of great spiritual energy.
Right.
And, well, this is where things get interesting.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
This little mouse, she started stealing the offerings that were meant for Buddha.
Oh, no. Stealing from Buddha, that's not a good idea.
Not a good idea at all. And it's this act that really sets her on her path to power, but also to her downfall.
So it's like a classic case of reaching for something you're not supposed to have.
Exactly. And the consequences that come with that.
So by stealing these offerings, did she gain some kind of power from them?
Exactly. These weren't just any offerings. They were imbued with spiritual energy. And by consuming them, the mouse spirit gains supernatural powers.
Wow. So it's like she got a power up from disrespecting the sacred talk about a double-edged sword. So now we have a superpowered mouse with a gold nose and white hair. What does she do with all this newfound power?
Well, she doesn't exactly keep a low profile.
I wouldn't expect her to.
She builds herself this lavish demon palace, complete with all the bells and whistles.
Fancy digs.
Yeah, and she takes on this grand title, the Earth-Flown Lady.
Okay, so she's embracing the villain role.
Full-on villain mode, yeah.
Talk about confidence.
Right. She's not afraid to own her ambition.
But all this power and ambition, it kind of seems like it's setting her up for a fall, right?
Oh, definitely.
Ah.
And that's where our monk enters the picture.
Okay, our unsuspecting hero.
In a way, yeah, he's on this epic journey with his disciples.
Right, classic Journey to the West setup.
Exactly, and they just happen to stumble into the mouse spirit's territory.
Uh-oh, wrong place, wrong time.
You could say that, especially when you consider what the mouse spirit wants from the monk.
What's that?
Immortality.
Oh, so she's not messing around.
Nope. She believes that by consuming the monk's flesh, she can achieve eternal life.
Classic villain move, right?
It's a tale as old as time, really, the desire for immortality.
And she's willing to go to some pretty extreme lengths to get it.
Oh, absolutely. She's not afraid to use her cunning and her magic to get what she wants.
So how does she try to capture the monk?
Well, she's a master of deception. She uses her magic to create illusions to trap him. She even tries to seduce him with promises of wealth and pleasure.
Oh, wow. She's really pulling out all stops.
This is high stakes, immortality is on the line.
Right. So it's not just brute force. She's using psychological warfare, too.
Exactly. She's a very clever adversary.
So what happens when the Monkey King finds out that the monk is in trouble?
Well, being the ever-resourceful hero that he is,
Right.
he immediately sets out to rescue his master.
But I imagine it's not that easy.
Not at all. The mouse spirit is more than a match for him, at least at first.
Really? So how does she manage to outsmart the Monkey King?
Well, remember, she's incredibly cunning. She uses a combination of her magic and her wit to trick him multiple times. She even creates this elaborate illusion of the monk's death.
Can you believe that faking the monk's death, that's cold?
Yeah, she's playing for keeps.
So the Monkey King is completely fooled.
For a time, yeah, he's devastated thinking he's failed his master.
So how does he finally see through her deception?
Well, even the Monkey King sometimes needs help.
That's right. He's powerful, but he's not infallible.
Exactly. So he turns to the Bodhisattva Guanyin for guidance.
Ah, Guanyin. Now she's major player in Buddhist mythology, right?
Absolutely. She represents compassion and mercy, and she's also incredibly powerful.
So she's not just a source of wisdom. She's also a force to be reckoned with.
Right, and she's not fooled by the mouse spirit's tricks.
So what happens when Guanyin confronts the mouse spirit?
Well, Guanyin sees right through her deception, and more importantly, she exposes the mouse spirit's past crimes.
You mean those stolen offerings?
Exactly, they come back to haunt her.
Karma's a boomerang.
It really is.
Hmm.
And it's a powerful reminder that our actions have consequences, even those that seem small or insignificant at the time.
And what about the mouse spirit? What's her final fate?
Well, Guanyin takes her back to that very mountain where it all began and imprisons her there as punishment.
So she ends up right back where she started.
Full circle.
Talk about poetic justice.
Right. It reinforces that idea of the cyclical nature of karma. You reap what you sow.
So the mouse spirit story, it's a cautionary tale about the dangers of ambition and the importance of respecting the divine order.
And it's also a story about the consequences of our actions, no matter how small they may seem.
Because even a tiny mouse can disrupt the balance of the universe.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Anytime. Always a pleasure to talk about these stories.
And for our listeners out there, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the mouse spirit's tale. What do you think of her choices and her ultimate fate?
And do you think her story has any relevance to our own lives?
Yeah, how do we navigate our own ambitions and temptations in a way that avoids those karmic pitfalls?
Food for thought.
Definitely. Until next time.
Take care.